Man, the album is so good, honestly. I've been listening to it on repeat since it came out here on Friday. For you guys, how was the initial feeling of the album actually being out? Because it must be a pretty surreal moment for you guys.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's like our secret little baby was released into the world.
Feels good.
If that makes sense. I don't know. It's so like personal and I don't know. It's just crazy to see it go out.
Felt like I had my second baby.
So good. How is Lavender, by the way?
She's great. She's really good.
She's so
She's getting
cute.
old.
She's a little teenager.
I love that. And it must have been a pretty wild experience creating this album because you made a lot of it whilst you were on tour. Was it difficult fitting in, obviously, traveling and doing shows whilst also trying to write songs and create songs?
Not really. It was just sort of something to do after the shows. Like it was either like you play some video games, or you just go to sleep, or you write a song. Like it was just kind of one of the few options.
Or you try to connect Fortnite to a hotspot.
Yeah. And the album title, The Good Times and the Bad Ones, I imagine there would have been some good times while making the album and also some bad times. Talk to me about some of the good times. What are the best memories that you have from creating this album?
Man. I think just listening back to it, as it like, there were probably like 3 or 4 different listening sessions like throughout the progression of making it, and you always like heard kind of where we were at in the process, and it was so cool to hear it come together. The further along we got, and like that, the last one was like we played the whole album front to back, and it was like, oh yeah, this is coming together.
This
is
good. Coming
moment.
together.
And I've been watching some of the other interviews that you did, and there's been like a bit of a change with like the track listing. Originally, you had a different track listing. How different is the track listing now compared to what you did have originally?
Not
It's
that
that. It's not.
pretty different.
Yeah. Really?
Originally, we kind of had it in an order that would tell a story when you listen through. And then some kind of like just management and stuff were like, hey, like we should have like the songs that are like, you know, being pushed harder. The singles should be at the front so people recognize it and keep listening. So we're like, okay, bet. And I've actually gotten really used to the current way that it's listed, and I like it a lot. So no complaints.
I feel like it still takes you on a journey in the listing that it's in now.
Yeah, it totally does. I think musically it's actually a better track list than what we had.
It's nice. I'm loving it. And in terms of some of the bad times that you had, what were some of the difficult moments or the struggles that you had when creating the album?
I think we struggled with a bit of the pressure that comes with making something this big on your own. You know, it's like a lot to do, and equally a lot, you know, was kind of on the line. It felt like, you know, we were hoping that all of our fans around the world would love the music, and you know, we were taking a chance because the sound is so different this time around. So yeah, I guess the pressure was tough to deal with a bit, but the payoff was worth it. They love it so far, as I've seen, which is great.
And your fans are so dedicated. Like, I don't imagine you could release anything. Like, you could probably just record yourselves farting and they'd still listen to it. They would still absolutely love it.
I love how you pronounce fart. Farting.
There's a fart noise in one of the songs. You have to try to find it.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep find it.
Yeah.
I'll keep an ear out for it for sure. And in terms of the live show, obviously the world is in a pretty weird place right now, and it's like nobody knows when you're going to be able to tour again or anything like that. Are you thinking about bringing this show to a live stage? Have you already got plans of how you're going to like play it?
I mean, this album started on the road. Like that's when we started writing it while we were touring. So it was very much like we'd do the show and then have so much of the feeling from the show still while we were writing the music. And it felt, I don't know, it just feels like it's gonna like we were writing it for the live show. And I think the live show is just gonna be a whole nother level of cool songs. It's gonna be really fun.
A lot of your fans are wondering if live shows going forward will still contain any choreography. From a lot of the live performances you guys have been doing lately, there's a lot of like playing instruments and stuff, which is sick to see. Will there be more dancing from Why Don't We in the future?
Maybe a little. Like I think we're not gonna cut it out completely, but
I think what's cool is we had all that experience, you know, doing that for the past 4 years. So I think if we want to just strip down and take our guitars away, our instruments away, then we can, you know. So I think that
I think most of the show will probably be
most of the show will be instruments, but I
that's
think
what we love.
definitely on certain songs we'll take away the instruments.
Yeah, I think there could be
Yeah.
some cool moments in the show where we all hit like some tunes. Something.
So I don't think that'll completely go away, but the show will definitely be very good.
I think it's gonna be more fun playing instruments. It's gonna feel more like a rock show. And, and there's nothing that beats live music, man.
Hell yeah. I'm excited for when you guys are able to come back and do live shows properly again. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, dude, it's all we're waiting for.
And a lot of your fans have messaged me asking for me to ask you some questions. So Sophia would like to know, are you guys planning to drop any of the unreleased songs which didn't make the cut of the album, but songs that you guys have talked about in previous interviews and stuff like that?
Potentially.
Maybe so. I think right now we're kind of in the mindset of like if they didn't make the album, they didn't make the album for a reason. So I don't know. Unless some of them kind of come. We've got some pretty solid ones in the vault though. Like
We do. We keep going back on a few.
There are ones though that we have for sure that just weren't gonna be on this album because of the vibe, but are still so good.
Yeah.
So I think those might have a shot to come out at a different time for us.
Yeah.
Or, we're definitely still writing like every day.
Kristen would like to know, what's the best advice another artist has given you guys?
We met with
John
him.
is really good at explaining this.
Yeah.
We went to his show in Atlanta. We ended up having a show there the same.
We had a day off
I think
there.
we had a day off there, and Jonah found out that there was Shawn Mendes was performing in town. So we were like, "Yo, we have tonight off. Why not stop by?" And then Shawn said we could go back and meet him.
Yeah, he got us some tickets. He put us right behind front of house for the show. It was really cool.
That's sick.
It was amazing. And then we met up with him after the show and kind of talked to him a little bit, just like artist to artist, about where we were in our careers and where he was, and just kind of asked him some questions about just like industry and stuff to kind of get a sense for like, you know, what's he going through behind the scenes and how does it compare to what we're going through. And you know, we talked about sort of wanting to play instruments, and he was like, "Wait, you guys play instruments?" And we were like, "Yeah, we play instruments." And so that was kind of a big eye opener to the fact that like, oh, he doesn't know we play instruments. Like the world probably doesn't know either. And and that kind of like kicked off the idea in our minds of like, man, like we really want to do what we love on stage. And that's another big thing he talked about was like, you know, you go through the day and you do all the stuff that might not be as exciting as getting on the stage, but once you get on that stage at the end of the night, he's like, that's what you do it all for. And he's like, and if you're not doing what you love on stage, then like, what are you doing it for? And we were just like, you know,
That's some good advice.
that's some good
It was
advice.
really cool.
Hell yeah. What a legend. And you guys are absolute legends as well. We're absolutely loving the new album, The Good Times and the Bad Ones. Why don't we? Thank you so much. And please come and visit us in New Zealand again soon.
Yeah, we'll do, Cam. Thanks
Of course.
for
See ya.
You're the man.
I love the shirt.
Cam the man.
You.